All right, so we hear all the time weight loss is a mental game, right? It is mind over matter, mind over action. It's your thinking that's the issue. But what does that really mean? And I think this is a great conversation to have. So we have let's say we have two different groups of things. One is physical action. So you'll often hear me on the podcast say, if I'm a fly on the wall and I'm watching you, right? What I'm talking about are the physical habitual actions, the getting up out of the chair, the walking to the pantry to put food in your mouth, the writing your food down or journaling your food, the meal planning, the prep. All of those things are physical habitual actions. None of them are difficult. Let's think about it very logically, right? I could probably train a 5-year-old to do most of them. I could train them to open up an app, put food in an app. I could teach a kid to write down 7 dinners to eat and all this other stuff. These are very simplistic habits and actions. So why do we struggle with them? Why does something that starts out so well in the first few weeks of deciding you want to make change, why does it fall off? Because of your thinking. Your mind can either be your best ally or your biggest adversary, because it is going to throw out tons of thoughts every single day, all day long. And I know you know what I'm talking about. Day one, oh, I'm super excited, I'm doing great. Da, 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 da. A week goes by, you don't see your weight drop. Oh, this is too much work. Let's just go back to doing what we were doing. It was so much more fun. Da, 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 da. Your brain has stories and ideas about everything. And it really doesn't want you to change. And I think this is an important thing we have to really highlight here. I've mentioned before on our videos regarding binge eating, you have the higher and the lower brain. Remember, we've talked about that. Well, your lower brain doesn't want things to change. It likes consistency. It likes the everyday ins and outs of what it's become accustomed to. Change is scary. Change is uncertain. It doesn't really want that. So when you start doing different habits and behaviors, it's constantly looking for ways to lure you back to what you've always done. So you're in the outside world of food prep, grocery shopping, tracking your food, you're trying to do all the actions, but it's kind of like you have this pesky fly or annoying coworker who will not shut the heck up. Like, it's constantly droning on and on. You know, those donuts look really good. You could have a donut today and start tomorrow. It like won't shut up, right? Like, quite literally. There were days in my weight loss journey, I would have to stop routinely, and I would have to, just sit there and go, no, Heather, this is what we're doing today. No, Heather, this is what we're doing today. Because that voice would not stop. For the life of me, it was constantly drowning me out. So when we talk about it being a mental game, that's what we're talking about. It's about learning how to ignore, how to dismiss, not just the urges to binge, the urge to quit, the urge to do what's comfortable, to do what's convenient, and to say, no brain, I hear you, but I am not going to choose to do that. That's the work. Like, at the end of the day, it's really not grocery shopping, really not meal planning, really not journaling your food. Again, I could train a 5-year-old to do these behaviors, given enough time and rewards. The point I'm trying to make here is the reason that this is a mental game is because your mind is your lower brain, I should be specific, your lower brain is constantly looking for ways to get you to not do it. Your higher brain, the prefrontal cortex, it really is excited about these changes, because you'll say to yourself, why is it I start out so excited? Why is it I'm so passionate? Why do I have this drive, right? There's an internal war going on, and you don't really realize it. You all think it's the same thing that's, contending for your attention. It's not. Because if you talk out loud and you say, I hear my brain say that if I eat this donut today, I'll start tomorrow. And what difference does it make? And like, you can quickly with your prefrontal cortex say, wait a minute, what? I've heard that message a gajillion times. I have fallen for that so many times. Every time I do, I end up falling off, quote unquote, the wagon for the next week and feeling crappy and then having to start over. No, it's lying to you. You can identify it when you talk it out loud. So when we talk about this being mental, It's not about creating motivation. Pay attention to this. It's not about creating motivation. It's not about feeling empowered and excited and it's not. It really is about you knowing that lower brain is constantly talking. It does it to me about different things at times. Heather, why are you even trying this? Do people even want to hear this? Nah, 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 nah. It doesn't shut up. And so what I do is I go, no, I'm not listening to you. Every time I listen to you, I end up feeling crappy about myself. I end up not taking action. And I know not taking action is not the answer to this problem. So I really kind of identify it now as what it really is. And I talk back to it. So when we talk about this being mental, please don't feel motivation is required. Please don't think that this is a Herculean effort as far as the tasks themselves, the habitual action behaviors. Really what this is, where your muscle must be flexed, is when you're hearing those messages on a daily basis that what you're doing isn't going to make a difference. Why are you bothering? Go ahead and have the fill in the blank because nothing you do is really going to lead to any permanent change. You've never done this before. You failed so many times, yada, yada, yada. When you realize all of that is just your lower brain trying desperately to keep you consistent with what you've always done, then at the end of the day, what you can do is start to shut it down so you can actually be consistent with those actions and behaviors. And this battle royale is going on 24/7. And it can seem so innocuous because what will happen is you'll be having a bad day at work. The lower brain kicks in and goes, oh, sweetheart, you're having a bad day at work. Have a brownie. That'll make you feel better. And you're like, wait a minute. How is a brownie going to fix the problems I'm having at work? That makes no sense, but it's luring you back. It's luring you to do the things you've always done, which has kept you at the stable weight that you currently are or has caused you to gain weight over time, right? So what I want you to be encouraged here with is, one, the actions, behaviors, and habits, fairly simple. They're not complicated. A kid could do them. That's not the problem. When you think, oh my gosh, tracking, it's going to take up my entire life. No, it's not. It's like 5 minutes of your day. You're making up, your brain is making up stories to convince you not. That's another good one. Oh my God, tracking. It's a huge time suck. How am I ever going to have time to do this? Literally, like opening up Facebook app doesn't take but a few seconds. People do it all the time. Opening up a food tracking app, same thing. It's really like that's how your brain does it. It convinces you that these things that are required for change are just so much. There's so much to do, so much time, so much money, da, 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 da. And all it's trying to do is keep things consistent. If life doesn't change for you, it's very predictable and it makes your lower brain very happy. So what is your job? Push past it. Say, no, I've listened to you before. I've done what you've said before. And let's be honest, has it ever gotten you where you want to be? Truly. If you felt like, okay, I can get this wonderful promotion at the job, but I'm going to have to fill out extra paperwork. That's required here? Why am I applying for this new job and position? Like your lower brain can do it with all things, right? Not just weight loss. So just start to identify it. Anytime it's luring you to do the things you've always done because it feels comfortable, seems like less work, seems like the thing to do, just say no. Say nope, listen to this before, not falling for it again. I'm going to choose to do the more uncomfortable thing. I'm going to show up and do the work today. I'm going to do the opposite of what my brain tells me to do when I typically quit this whole process. You guys have a great day. Please like and subscribe, and I will talk to you soon.